Crime knows no frontiers. To combat the growing menace of the international criminal, the police forces of the world have opened up their own national boundaries. At their headquarters in Paris, scientifically equipped to match the speed of the jet age, 63 nations have linked together to form the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol.
Good trip we got here. Next. Hey, you! Sailor!
He forgot his glove.
Poor devil. He won't need it now.
Boy, he really got it, didn't he? There's not enough killing going on in the world. They gotta go walk in front of trucks.
Sure. Captain Tully.
So when did the Immigration Department take an interest in stiffs?
We like to know who comes into the country, alive or dead.
Well, this one came in the right way. For us. You know who he is?
Now, suppose you tell me.
Jason Tasker. The Jason Tasker. International crook. Half the police forces in the world have been trying to pull him in, and what do you know? He gets killed in my precinct. How about that?
It's too bad it wasn't a police car that hit him. You might have got a promotion.
Knock it off. You know what I mean. He was really no good. Got a record that long.
That's right. I just been checking this through.
See?
Let me catch this last entry.
Yeah?
2 months ago, Jason Tasker got into a gunfight in Hamburg. He was shot dead.
Inspector Duval, the photograph from New York.
Thank you.
Paul, here is the file on Jason Tasker. He has an international record like a crime wave. Shot and killed in Hamburg.
Then who was this man killed in New York?
And what was he doing with Tasker's passport?
According to U.S. immigration, he was a seaman. Does he look like a sailor to you?
Well, he has a tattoo on his arm.
It's the tattoo that puzzles me. Ever seen one like that before?
No.
Get a slide made. An enlargement through the projector will give us a better look at it.
It's a very unusual pattern.
More unusual than you think. 65098.
So that's what it is.
Well, we know one thing about our man. At one time in his life, he was in a concentration camp. Find out who had that number and what concentration camp he was in. And anything else we have on the file. Jacob Sarek, 5 years in Auschwitz. No record after release. Believed to have returned to his home in Hungary. Next appearance was last month. Given political asylum at refugee camp König in Linz, Austria. He disappeared from that camp 2 weeks ago.
And the next we know of him, he is found dead in New York with someone else's passport.
Jean, give me the list of people missing from refugee camps. Camp Koenig. Here is something interesting, Jean. Of people reported missing from all refugee camps, 23% were from Camp Koenig. And Sarek is the first one there's ever been a lead on.
And you think there's some connection?
Well, it's worth a trip to Camp Koenig to find out.
Fräulein, we would like to see the camp director.
Oh, yes. Herr Donner is expecting you.
Herr Donner, this is Inspector Duval.
How do you do? Inspector, this is really a waste of both our time. I'm grateful for your concern, of course, but as I told you on the phone, Camp Koenig is not a prison. Refugees can come and go.
Not when they go missing completely. Try to understand. These disappearances are serious. We want to help.
These people came here to find freedom. And what happens? They're stateless. Some of them have been here as long as 15 years. Can you blame others for trying to get away? Perhaps it is illegal, but would you punish them?
We have no wish to punish them. It's the people who prey on them, who trade on their misery.
What makes you so sure they are being victimized?
All these men had one thing in common. They came to this camp with some property, jewelry mostly. It's easily transportable during their escape to freedom.
Jacob Sarek had some when he came here. He was penniless when his body was picked up in New York. Believe me, he paid for his passage.
Only someone connected with this camp would know which refugees had jewelry.
I can't believe it. Even supposing you're right, where would you start? We have 3,000 refugees in camp now. You can't question them all.
We can, if we have to.
Subject them to more fear and misery? No, I won't allow it. It's inhuman. You might just as well suspect my staff or me.
Thank you, Herr Dorner. Goodbye.
I'm afraid, Inspector Duval, that you will never get Dorner to change his mind. To him, there is no connection between the disappearance of the refugees.
Do you really believe that, Inspector Krantz?
No. Like you, I am a policeman. But I know Herr Dorner. He's a good man, but stubborn. He will fight to protect his staff. We cannot count on his cooperation. And to screen 3,000 refugees.
There could be a shortcut. Suppose a new refugee arrived at Camp Koenig, someone who had money or jewelry, who made it quite clear that he would be willing to buy his freedom at any price.
If our theory is correct, he would be approached.
Exactly.
I have just the man. Send in Detective Müller, please.
We would have to get him into Camp Koenig through regular channels.
Müller is new to this area. No one will know him.
Inspector?
Müller, this is Inspector Duval.
How do you do? How do you do?
We would like you to join us in a little expedition we are planning.
Expedition? We are going shark fishing. We want you for bait.
I demand to see the camp director.
I'm sorry, Herr Müller. He's much too busy.
Too busy? Maybe he pretends to be busy so he doesn't know about the trash they are giving us to eat.
Perhaps you had better food where you came from?
I want something I can eat, that's all.
Nobody else complains.
Then they are fools. If it costs more, I can pay for it. Tell him that.
Herr Müller, in this camp there are no special privileges.
Then get me out of here. I can't live like this.
You have made that quite clear to the entire camp. Unfortunately, there is nothing I can do to help your departure.
Müller's doing quite a job. In 3 days, everyone in the camp hates him And his money.
An attractive bait. Still no fish.
Kranz here. Oh, yes, Herr Donner. What? Oh, I see. Thank you very much. Of course. We will be there right away. Müller, missing from the camp since last night.
There. You see, he didn't sleep here last night. All his things are gone.
I knew Müller wouldn't let us down.
It's his hearing aid. Why would he forget that?
He didn't forget it. And it's not a hearing aid.
You'll have to speak louder. I can't hear you.
I can't shout. Can't you turn that thing up?
What did you say?
I said, do you really want to get out of the camp?
You could arrange it.
I have friends, but it takes money.
I've got money. I can pay.
It won't be cheap for you.
That voice. It's
your secretary.
Almost 6:30.
I asked Donna to wait a while before he told her. I didn't want the news to come right on top of our visit.
Do you think it will work?
When she hears that Miller's been picked up, she'll be worried. She'll go and check him.
How do I know you won't just take all the jewelry and then hand me over to the authorities?
You don't. Come on, Emil. I haven't got all day.
The passport.
Is this all you got?
There's the passport.
Ooh, you're so anxious. Here. Take your pick.
These are all authentic?
Sure. They're the real thing, all right. Now, it's time for business. I'll give you $500 in dollars.
500, but the bracelet alone is worth 10 times that.
600. And the passport.
I have no choice. Passage money. But that's all I have.
Just meet me tonight, 8:30 by the bridge. And don't be late. Now, don't you worry, Herr Muller. I can assure you your accommodation is going to be first class. Seaman, first class.
Where is he going to take me?
Here. You better put these on. You might as well get used to them.
Can't I do it later?
Now! Want to get picked up by the police?
How did she get away? Why did you... The police.
What about the police?
Herr Donner said the police had called. He said they had picked Muller up. Emil, he's working with the police.
All right, Muller?
I am now. I wasn't sure if you'd found the hearing aid.
Anyone else?
An American, Creedy. I was to have met him tonight to go aboard a ship.
I'll have him picked up.
No. This is only one end. They are beating United States immigration laws. The Americans would want to know how. And I would like to know why.
Somebody must get something out of it.
Sarek was killed in America. Would you be willing to see this thing through? Right to New York?
Uh-huh.
Inspector?
If you can make arrangements with the Americans through Interpol, and if Müller cares to take the risks...
I'd go to New York myself. Muller?
I have a very strong bond with such people.
Welcome to the Golden Shore, Mr.
Müller.
Johnson. That's what it says on your passport. Don't you ever forget it.
I suppose Mr. Creedy's told you of the terms of our agreement.
He said you would find me a job.
And for that, we charge a small percentage. 50% to be exact.
Half of what I earn every week.
Better than being sent back?
Yes, but...
Now, you take it or leave it.
All right.
I thought you would. Not now, Carter. Can't you see I'm busy?
It was just to give you this.
Oh. Is it all here?
I'll bring the rest. I will, I swear I will.
Well, you make sure you do tomorrow.
Yes, Mr. Marston.
Creedy, take Johnson to his hotel room and stay with him.
The man is Oliver Marston. He has offices in a big block called the Butler Buildings. He runs an employment agency.
Now listen, Miller. Let Marston get your job. Play it as long as you can get away without being spotted.
There was another man, a refugee, I think. They called him Carter. A little man, about 5'3", gray hair, around 115 pounds. It's Creedy coming back. I'll talk to you later.
Why did you lock the door?
I didn't want anyone to come into the room while you were out.
I heard the phone ring. Who was it?
Oh, yes. That was a mistake. They called the wrong room.
Did you ring this room?
No, sir. Why, do you get cut off?
Yes, I did. Can you reconnect?
Immigration office, Captain Tully here.
Turn around.
Fool, why did you have to kill him?
I told you. He was on to us. He'd reported in before I could get to him.
So what? They couldn't prove anything. Those files are all legitimate stuff. They wouldn't have anything to go on. Are you sure Muller is dead?
Unless he's got a skull like a rhinoceros.
Nobody saw you go back to his room?
No!
And they still can't prove anything. Unless Muller told them anything about us, they might want to take us in for questioning. I'll have to fix you an alibi.
In the meantime, we just sit here and wait?
We start trying to run now. We're asking for trouble. We just sit here and wait.
What are Miller's chances, Doctor?
I can't say.
Will he be able to talk?
With the beating he took, it's a miracle that he's alive at all.
They didn't want him to live.
I'm sorry, Duval. I'll have the police pick up Marston and Creedy.
No, not yet. We still have to break up that extortion racket.
But after what they've done to Muller...
Muller was a refugee once himself. He'd want us to finish the job. You still have that photographer planted outside Marston's office?
The last 2 days.
Good. My office is sending over pictures of all the missing refugees, answering the general description of Carter.
Carter? The man Muller told you about?
It's a chance. If we can match one of our pictures with one that your man has taken. Bill older, clean-shaven, but with a mustache.
It's the same man, all right. Who is he?
Vladimir Konsky, Czech woodworker, disappeared from Camp Koenig 11 months ago.
Now, all we have to do is find him. Of all the Carters in New York, Carter.
Oh, Konsky.
Okay, we'll start a check. I'll get a copy to every precinct in the city. Now, you're quite sure it's the same man?
Oh, yes, sir. That's Carl Carter. I see him every day on my beat. He's a nice little guy. I hope he's not in any trouble.
No, it's all right.
What does he do, this Carter?
Oh, he has a small carpentry shop, repairs furniture and things like that.
Woodworking. That settles it.
Let's have a talk with Mr. Carter.
If Carter will talk to us. We're asking you to cooperate with us. We want to help you.
What do you know about Marston?
I told you, I've never heard the name before.
You were photographed coming out of his office building.
I have customers all over. I go into lots of buildings.
Mr. Carter, Marston is a vicious criminal. We are trying to stop what he's doing to you and all the others like you. Tell us what you know.
I've told you, I don't know anything.
Muller, he died 20 minutes ago without regaining consciousness.
Konski, you are coming with us.
You can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
It's not an arrest. I want to show you something. Take a good look, Konski. A dead man. Man you ought to know about. You and all the other refugees Marston's got his hooks into. His name was Muller. He was an Austrian policeman. He didn't have to come over here, but he volunteered because he'd been a refugee once himself. He wanted to help you and the others. He had a wife and children. Konski, how would you like to face them? Tell them that Marston got away with this killing because you wouldn't talk.
No, I don't know.
You don't know. Look at his face, Konski. Muller's face. You don't know him and he didn't know you. But he died for you. How are you going to repay him? By protecting Marston? So that you and the others can go on living in fear? What sort of a man are you?
Stop it. Stop it, please. No more. You're right. I've been a coward. I'll tell you everything. Everything you want to know. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Police department. They picked up Marston and Creedy.
Good.
They'll both go up on a murder charge. And with Konski's testimony, we'll make it stick.
Muller was a good policeman.
He knew what he was doing. He took a calculated risk.
I know. It happens every day in every police force in the world.
You know, it's quite a thought. U.S. immigration have trouble, and an Austrian and a Frenchman come over to help beat it.
It's a good system. Thanks for your cooperation.
That should have been my line.
Maybe I'll be back sometime.